Hi guys, I am bringing you with me to the forest. The last few days there has actually been snow here in Denmark. There's been so much snow. It has been amazing, but as you can see today there's not much left. It's almost all of it just melted away and became like a mass of mud, water and snow. But anyway, I would like to bring you with me to the forest to try to explain to you some different tips and tricks about landscape photography. So that's what this video is going to be about. I brought some different lenses also here in my camera bag, and I brought my drone with me, and I would like to explain to you some different tips that changed my landscape photography. Because sometimes I found it difficult to, when you put that wide angle lens on your camera and you're standing there in front of this huge and impressive landscape and you're capturing it, you bring it back home, plug the SD card in the computer and you edit it, and then you're just looking at it like, I don't remember it that boring, or you're like, nah, this photo is just an average photo. I mean, it's a good photo, but it's just, it doesn't pop. And that's why I brought some tips that can improve your landscape photography. My first tip is to use different layers in the photo to create some kind of depth of fields. So I made this example. You can see here the little pinewood tree is the focus of this image, and then I put on a 70-200 to kind of blur the background and the foreground a bit. You can see there's all these branches and bushes in the foreground that I've blurred out to kind of draw the attention to the pine tree, which is the focus point. I'm using a higher shutter speed to try to capture if there was some motion in the photo. When I took this photo, you can see here, there was a little bit of snowing, and then I used a higher shutter speed to capture the snowflakes in the air falling down. When you're using the depth of fields, then it's important to make sure that you have a clean foreground and a clean background, because you don't want distracting things that's taking the attention away from the focus point of the image, and that's just overall makes the image appear much sharper when there's the blurriness in the foreground and background, but it also makes it appear more clean and a more pleasure to watch. Another trick is when you find it difficult with this wide landscape, then just to stop up for a minute and then think about all the details. So while editing this, I just thought that I needed to interrupt myself for a second, because that wasn't a good explanation. The idea of this exercise is that I limit myself for one small area, and then instead of just walking straight past it and missing these shots and just focusing on the big landscape in the horizon, you're just gonna limit yourself for one little area and then say, okay, for the next time, next maybe 15-20 minutes, I'm just gonna sit down here, relax, and then make my brain start thinking about different compositions and different angles you can photograph these small little things, and then focus on the details here. So instead of just rushing through the forest and taking the photo, you're just gonna slow down a bit, sit down, and then see, okay, well, the branches moving in the wind. Or in this case I photographed where there was snow on one of the branches, and I'm just gonna photograph that and start being creative with those compositions. So just a little break and then go back to the video. My next tip is for those of you who have a drone, but I'll just start off by putting it in the air. A drone is a good way to get some new perspectives of the landscape, and my tip is that you can just fly around, observe and see if there's something interesting. But remember one thing, the perspective or the landscape changes completely when you're just trying to point it downwards, because then you'll get a whole new landscape and new perspectives that can create some awesome images. And when you're doing that, Remember, leading lines is a very good composition to use with this one, and then just this perspectives from upside down makes some quite interesting photos. Yeah, so that was just a few tips from me. I hope you found it useful and you can use it to improve your portfolio when it comes to landscape photography. But remember that it isn't the only answer out there. There are plenty of other tips and tricks that you should listen to, watch and learn, and then you can use them as well. It is also important that you put on this wide-angle lens and then photograph the whole landscape. But I just think that it's a good little reminder that you have to remember the little things and details when it becomes difficult to shoot with a wide-angle lens. So I hope you found it useful, but the most important thing is that you shoot what you like and you photograph what makes you happy. So if you like a photograph, then just upload it. It doesn't matter what other people think and say. Of course, you should listen to them and get their advice to improve yourself. But in the end, if you like the photograph you have photographed, then you should upload it because it's something that you're creating that makes you happy. Well, then I'll just say thank you for now. I hope that I here in 2021 will be able to photograph more and make some more videos for you guys. But thank you for watching and see you out there next time.